On the 25th of March, the spearhead of the 102 and the 105th Hausa battalions, with Muhammad leading them, burst through to Onitsha. Achuzi realized they could not be stopped, so he swung in behind them and followed into Onitsha so closely. He hoped to rush them straight into the river. It might have worked, for the two federal battalions were exhausted. But on the road, another Biafran battalion mistook Achuzi's men for the Nigerians. There was a clash. When that had been sorted out, Achuzi pressed on. But at the Apostolic Church, he and his men came across the 300 corpses of the congregation who had been executed by the Nigerian forces. The Biafran soldiers were so stunned they refused to move on. It was their officers who had the unpleasant task of moving the bodies out of the way. When the road was clear again, Achuzi moved on, but with an 18-hour delay. He found the Nigerians well dug in already. He had two choices to make here: to try to force the Nigerians out of their position or to turn back towards Abagana. The first option would have exhausted his own men and their ammunition supplies, leaving them unable to cope with a larger force he was sure was following them down the road. An argument developed between Achuzi and the other Biafran commanders, who maintained there was no larger force awaiting. Achuzi got his way and set up an enormous ambush outside Abagana. The next morning, a 102 lorry convoy with 6,000 men on board and 350 tons of equipment rolled into the ambush. This would be known as the Abagana ambush, the biggest ever ambush during the Nigerian Civil War. A chance mortar bomb hit the 8,000-gallon petrol tanker and the vehicle exploded backward, shooting a thong of blazing fuel 400 yards down the road and covering 60 vehicles behind, which were soon burnt out. The surviving soldiers panicked, jumped down and ran. The awaiting Biafran infantry got them. Very few got out alive. Even though Muhammad made Onitsha, but out of 20,000 men he had brought, only about 2,000 entered Onitsha. The rest had been lost on the way. Lagos was not pleased when Muhammad crossed the Niger in a small boat. The 102nd and the 105th in Onitsha were relieved and fresh troops sent across the river from Asaba. Soon, there were 5,000 more Nigerians in Onitsha, and despite repeated efforts to retake the city, they remained in control of it. The garrison was boosted to 8,000 men by November 1968. East of Enugu, the Nigerians crossed a steep and narrow gorge at Ezulu and captured Abakaliki. This cut off the Biafrans east of Abakaliki from facing the Nigerians across the Anyim River, and they withdrew to a new line south of Abakaliki. Within this, the Nigerians in Ogoja province had crossed the Antim on another Belly bridge and linked up with Abakaliki. For the first time, the two wings of the 1st Nigerian Division had made contact and possessed an east-west strip running along the north of Biafra. Adekunle's 3rd Division had pushed up the valley of the Cross River on the eastern bank to Obubra, the last major town in Ikoyi country. It was further south, however, that Adekunle got his big break. Check this video here for our previous episode on the Biafran War. And of course, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.